Let's do a quick recap of what the topic we discussed yesterday. So see, let me. So to add product, first need to create object type. This is what called object. We first need to do this. Okay. And to create object, we need layout. Okay. And in layout, there are two options. One is what called section and second is called fact. Like I was telling you, section is something which is defined in it is very similar how we have sections in the default normal page. Like if I open any account detail or anything, there we have a sections where we define what is the account details, what is the address information, what is the let long, and what is the system information, like that, right? Similar ways here also we need to define the sections. But fact are basically used to define tabs. You can also use fact to define any related record tabs also, right? So those sections, why we define everything in one page, why we need tabs, because it will be it is only for us for the ease of use. Anyways, whatever we are going to configure from this screen, it will not gonna display in the user's display. Okay, so whatever we have doing the configuration, it is for internal purpose only. So since it's so many manual efforts that someone needs to do here whenever they need to populate the product, so that's why we define layout in such a way that will be ease of use for them. Okay, so that's why it is divided into two parts, sections and facts. Once you define those things, the next thing which comes into the picture is what, in which object, basically which category you want to add those layouts. Those things we need to discuss with business, like which will be the parent and which will be the child category, and how the structure of your catalog will look like. Also, you need to highlight that this will be a futuristic thing. So yeah, it will be a huge discussion into the grooming calls, like how the structure will be look like. Sometimes if I talk about this visible, they are purely into electronics category, right? They as of now they only sell those things. So instead of creating a category for electronics, they can directly create a category for phones, wearable, Apple, and others, right? So those things they can directly create. So it is again very to business what will be the category. Okay, it's not like the first category should be electronics. Under that there should be phones and watches and all. They have a category for phone, watches, and other TVs, right? Something like that. It's purely subjective. The once we define those things, the next thing that comes into the picture is to define attributes for them. Whenever you whenever you be a part of a project where you need to ask yourself, do we need to create a product or do we need to create fields? So make think about this, and then this help you in the judgment. The only difference between attributes and fields are available before loading a product. Okay, that means let me actually open one product. Let's say this iPhone 11 is the product. Okay, and for that you need to define some categories, and now you are confused. Do you need to create the attributes or do you want to create the fields? Okay, so think is, if you want to create a logic that needs that doesn't want to load the product, okay, in that case you need to define fields. But if you are relying on a logic which can only work after the load of this product, then you need to define the attribute. That means the scope of attribute is only be in reference if you are using the JSON, if your JSON is loaded into the product catalog. Okay, then only we can use the attributes. If we want to create any logic which is outside this JSON, which we want to use for any other, like in process builders, in flows, or any Apex classes that has this much dependency, then go for fields. But that again, this discussion also took some time to reach to any decision. Why? Because if you create fields, it will cost back in terms of deployment, in terms of FLS and all, right? But if you create attributes, there is nothing such involved. You just need to migrate the entire changes through IDX tools, right? So it the deployment is very smooth in terms of if you define something in attributes. The first preference should always be attributes unless your business says I want any complex logic written on that particular field. Then only we will go with the traditional Salesforce field approach. Okay. All right. So let's check how we can add the attributes now. So again, you need to click on this plus button. Okay. The name of the attribute, let's say 5 5G support. Let's give it a code. Description for internal users, you need to check this active checkbox. Now next thing that you see is the category. Now this is the only thing which we still need to rely on Salesforce backend. Okay, this attribute category, I will tell you what is this, but we cannot create attribute category using this VF page. We need to go to the Salesforce. So what is attribute category? Let's first discuss about that. So see, whenever you create an attribute, you need to define its nature. Right? What will be the nature of this 5G attribute? Because if we like in the last class when we are discussing about attributes, I told that there are two types of options in the attribute. First is you want to make it free flow. That means it can be used for any object, or you want to bind that attribute for a specific object, right? And what will be the properties of that particular attribute? Those things basically defined under attribute category. But before we go into that, let's first other options. This is the you can say value type, like whether it is a text, percentage, picklist and all. So b since it is 5G, we just want to make it checkbox. Okay, default value you can give. If it is picklist, then we need to give the picklist value. We'll check how to create picklist today itself. Sequence will be how the sequence of this attribute gonna look like. So by default we will give 10. If there is already a attribute with having the same sequence, then it will throw the exception. Now let's talk about these three checkboxes. These are important one. Okay. First is filterable. So let me open Amazon. Let's open this phone. Okay. But I think it's a better example. We just perhaps use this one. With the electronics. Just a second. Yeah, this one is the perfect example. So see, if you define 5G as a filterable checkbox, that means you will get a filter here for 5G also. Okay, whatever things that you're seeing here, they are nothing but filters, right? Network type, 4G, 5G, right? Those things I'm talking about. If you create a checkbox for 5G in the card, we will check how the native card will look like today also. In there that you will get an option for filters. Okay, that means this 5G support now will be treated as a filter if you check this checkbox. Okay, that means when users can use the check this feature to filter out all the attributes based on that. Okay, next thing is the encrypted. So let's talk about that. So see, in Salesforce, there is something called shield encryption, right? Shield encryption is used to encrypt the backend data. Okay, that means let's say you have some sensitive information. Even if you, let's say, since whenever you deal with e-commerce, that means you have a catalog, you have a users, right? You need to log in first and then you can order it. That means when you ask user to log in, you ask them to put their email, phone number and shipping address, right? All those things you want users to put, then only you can deliver the product to their location. So since you are now asking for very secure information, very personal information, where you have the list of users and you have their personal details like phone number, email, address. So there's a different laws for different countries. If you want user, if you want a system to have that much information, okay, so you need to encrypt that information. Like if you are working for a US company and you have the information of US customers, then you have to encrypt the shield encryption into the Salesforce because of US government laws, right? In that case, whenever you do this shield encryption, it is a paid tool. You have to purchase it from Salesforce itself. What it will does, it will simply ask you to encrypt. It will ask you which object you want and what are the fields you want to encrypt. Okay, and this is not like masking where you just mask the fields and when someone go to the UI and they will not show the exact in whatever whatever value they have given, they will not show. Instead, they will show a masking. So that is not the shield encryption. Shield encryption works on the back end. How, what is the requirement of shield encryption is basically you have heard that in Salesforce data center some data breach happened, I think 5 years back, right? So then industries think about the solution, like even if someone who reach to Salesforce data center and they exactly take out any hard disk where the physical information is existing, okay, and they go and connect this to their system. Then after even they found this physical hard disk, they will not able to access any information. Why? Because the information is now encrypted. Okay, same ways here also. Whenever you deal with such situations where let's say I have created this attribute and this attribute is maybe containing user email ID. Okay, in that case, you can enable the encryption here. It is not a shield encryption, but yes, it, let's say I have used let me show you example. Let's say I have used the 6 GB. Now just check out the URL. Okay, the moment I do, you will see there is something RAM and something attribute 5G something is added on the top of the URL. The logic that this Flipkart guy is written is something they are retrieving, they are doing the query based on URL, right? Even if we, this is also a VFH, they will also rely on the same technology, right? If we do the encryption, that means the URL will now be encrypted. Whatever information you are passing, it will be encrypted from both ends. Okay, so it will be added a additional layer of security if you enable this encryption. But now you can say if it is that much important, why don't we just use encryption for all the fields? You can do that, but the problem is you will see a lag in the loading because whenever you do the encryption, that means somewhere whenever your server is trying to retrieve the value, they need to decrypt it again, right? So take a decision wisely. Only enable this encryption when you have very sensitive information such as email, um, phone numbers or something, right? If you creating any attribute that is containing that much information, or if you're not creating attributes, that means you're creating fields, then you need to purchase the shield encryption and then you need to secure those fields. All right. Next is the basket cache. Basket cache means let's say I have searched this phone yesterday, right? So but this is now contain now this is showing as a cache of this particular browser or somewhere, right? It get cached. Same thing here also. Let's say if you want user to search this attribute and you want to be cached it, okay, then you need to check this checkbox. And why, in which situation you don't want to cache is, let's say you are giving a filter on IMEI number, okay, that doesn't need to be cached, right? So in that case you should ignore this option. I mean, you need to select this option, exclude from caching. By default, all information get cached. Okay, so this is the basic idea of attributes. Any questions on it? Right, it is simple. You just need to define the name, description, active. This category we will discuss. Here you need to define the type, default. You need to give any value, default value. Pick list we will talk about. Sequence, filterable, that means it will show a filter here. Encrypted means you have to encrypt this information if it is any personal information, user personal information. If you want to exclude it from the caching, then you need to check this checkbox, right? Now let's go and create a um, attribute category. Just go there, search for attribute category, velocity attribute categories. Okay, you need to click on the new. Okay, here it will asking you what is the category name. You can define it as a related to mobile. or any specific thing you want to define, you can write it here. Mobile 4G or 5G, right? Is anything you can give here. Now this is the application type. That means to sorry, to how many objects you want to access for this attribute. If you define any, that means that attribute can be accessed to any type of object that is in the list. It can be accessed for account, contact version, campaign, product, and quote line items. If you define any specific row, that means now you are restricting the scope of this attribute, and it will be only available when you are actually inside the product to object. If I just select this and drag it here, okay. So that thing we can also do here. Next is nothing but a code. You can just define any code. Display sequence. This display sequence is the unique identifier. If there is already a sequence of 10 is there, then it will show the exception. Now let's talk about this application subtype. That is a little tricky. So see, this category, if you define it under profile attribute, okay, there are three categories. If you profile attribute, product attribute, and term attribute. In some org, you will not see term attribute. They will call it instructor investor terms. Okay, there's a different names. Actually, in the old org, they will call it this investor terms, but now they will call it investor term attribute. Let's discuss about this. First, profile attribute. If you define profile attribute, that means you are giving a permission velocity to run the velocity intelligence. Okay, what is velocity intelligence? It is nothing but a backend AI tooling. What they will do, they based on your user selection, they will send this information to the AI system. That AI system will sort out based on this category data, and they will display the filters accordingly. Okay, so they will start displaying the filters on the user selection based on whatever users are selecting. Based on user selection, they will start showing you filters. Okay, if you select this checkbox, profile attributes, okay, there's something called velocity intelligence that will get activated if you select this. If you select product attributes, that means even if you here, if you select campaign, let's say I have removed this and I have created this attribute for campaign and have selected that that's a product attribute. That means after selection of this, I can also use this attribute for product consumption, for handling the product records. Okay, so by default, we will select this because our catalog is only applicable for the products, right? Then we select this. But if you have a very big set of users and you have like 1,000 2,000 user, then it is preferable to select this profile attributes, because machine learning can only work if you have huge data. Otherwise you will not see some relevant filter on the screen. Okay, so yeah, in most of the cases we go with this attribute, product attributes. But when we think that now we have huge data, then from the developer editions and from the sandboxes, we go with the profile attributes, right? Next is the term attribute. There is something we will actually come back to this screen and discuss about term attributes, because there is something called housing filters. Okay, if we want to show or set up the housing filters, then we need to use the term attribute. But yeah, just ignore this as of now. Just consider that we need to use the product attribute because we want to display product catalog, right? And here you can use any. Okay, sequence and everything. This is for internal purpose. You can write any description. Now let it see. Wherever you found display sequence as required, that means this display sequence will play a unique identity role. Okay, it is saying see, it is saying duplicate record because there is already any category that is having this same sequence. You can change it to 15. Okay, it got saved. I'm just keep this window open. Now let's close this and search for the filter. You have written mobile 5G, right? Search for it. Okay, now you can see save option is enabled. So let's save it. Now you can see I have saved one category. Now let's go back and refresh this. You will see a entry get logged here, right? So that means whatever changes we will do, it will create a record. Like, so it has already created a record for attribute. Let's take a look. You will see all those things basically are created: sequence, pick list, and all, basically all the configuration that we did here is now part of a record, right? It created a record for us. Now if you go there, you will see again, you can see what is the scope of this particular filter. You can add multiple objects also here, right? We have selected product 2 only. Okay, any questions on it? Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's create a pick list also. Again, the process remains the same. We need to create the pick list. First, we need to create pick list. Then we need to create the exact pick list values. After then, we again need to go to the attributes and define those attributes as a pick list and select that. So let's do this. First, we need to create a pick list. Here we can type RAM. Let's say we are creating a attribute for RAM. It will be number, sorry, text, because we want to add 16 GB, 14 GB like that, right? Again, you need to select the selected checkbox. So see, whenever we create a new pick list thing, you don't see any option where we are actually defining the pick list values, right? Initial window will only is asking you what is the name, what is the code, what is the nature of this pick list, and when you want to activate, right? I will come up with this screen again, but yeah, let's save it first. That is the default nature of velocity. They never allow you to do any type of hard coding. Okay, now what they did is they basically created a record for this also, for RAM also. Okay, they created a record for RAM. Now when we click on the item here, we again need to click on new. Then they will again create a record and add those record under that. Similar ways how it is, right? Attribute bindings. So they will create the same thing. Let's do one thing. Let's add the values here. So let's 4G. This is the text value. This will not display into UI. You can directly use it for, you can write this for mobile or something. You can write for internal or more detailed manner. Here you can write whatever will be displayed to the UI. This will be the code. Abbreviation, a short description of whatever you are doing, nothing but a detail sequence. You can make one. Again, active effective date today. Any questions on it? This code will be something which is sent back to the server whenever you select this 4G option. This is the filter or something, you can say it will be sent back to the server, to the Apex class, right? So if your Apex class dealing with 4, then only you need to do this. Otherwise you can use the G also. Okay, you can save it. We'll see it will list out here. Okay, similar ways we can create others also. It, I think it should be GB, right? Same thing, we need to copy. Sequence will be 2 and see. Let's give these 3 options only. Okay, so yeah, so that means a RAM is now created, which is a pick list, and we have added its value here, right? So no hard coding at this level. I will show you how this record basically look like in Salesforce. But before that, let's go to product, sorry, go to the dashboard and create an attribute again. Okay, so if you need to create a RAM, sorry, if you need to create a pick list, first you need to define pick list. Under again, you need to create a attribute. Your RAM, this RAM is not a attribute. This is a pick list. Okay, here we will define a attribute for this pick list, right? Let's use the same category for 4G, 5G, yeah, this one. Okay, this time we will select list. Nothing in this. Here we will search. Okay, the value of pick list is RAM. Yeah. Select it, and again you can make it 2, and those things remains the same. So let's save it. Okay, now if you go and refresh, you need to go back. Yeah, here you need to go to the category. Inside that you will see a RAM option is created. If you click on RAM, you will see a pick list value created here, and all the option that we have added is nothing but another record, right? If you open this, you will see they have created just, they maintained 4 GB. They just want to maintain this value, but they can do it at this level also. But again, they created this for a different record, right? So this is the default nature of velocity. For even for simple thing where they can do in one field, they created a record for it, right? So this is something sometimes also, that is the problem. Actually, we cannot clone the existing JSON because so many IDs on involved. So that is a manual effort if you need to set up anything, right? So that is the reason. Even I'm not sure why it did that, but yeah, that is how it is coded in this VF page. Any changes, any small changes you will do, it will create a record and it will tag that ID into the JSON of this structure. So it will come a 10D stage job when we actually need to do the data feeding, because there's no smart option which we can adopt to just do the cloning and get the job done. Okay, and it is also not recommended also, because if you give this option to someone, they will first check if due to any there isn't a short trick to do that, and then they probably go and create the edit those JSON, because editing the JSON is quite easy for someone who knows the how JSON works, right? There are also tools which actually display the JSON and you can directly do the changes, but the problem remains, starts with this ID. You have to get this ID somewhere, right? So yeah, so that is the process of creating attributes and the pick lists. Any questions?
So here attribute category we have and object type. So could you please explain how those related?
You mean attribute and object?
Uh, exactly. So initially what we did, like we define an attribute
Hmm.
and we
Yeah, that
associate that to an attribute
right, right.
category.
That
Yeah.
that's the next thing that I will go. But yeah, at this level, any issues or anything you want to discuss? All right. So we created the attributes. Now let's see how we can add this attribute to the product. Let's check that. So first, what I will do, I will search the product. I think Samsung something. We have created a category for phone. Yeah. Uh, let's check. Yeah, you need to go to the first product too, into the object type. Here you need to search phone, and yeah, first check this. Here you will see attributes and fields, right? Let it load. Here again you need to select that, and here you will find 5G that we have created. RAM you will see this we have created, right? Both are attributes. Now you can assign it. Okay, so those values automatically get assigned, like RAM and 5G. Now it is assigned at this level. Now we can directly go and search for our product. Product is Samsung that we have created, I think. this one, I think. Yeah. So again, the layout is not configured well. That's why we can't see. But let me do one thing. Let me add that to iPhone 11. Okay. So yeah, first open the object type of this iPhone 11. It is okay. Under that again, what I'm basically trying to do is whatever product you have selected, like this product, I want to add a add those attribute that we have created, right? So for that you need to go to the object type of that product. Inside the object type you need to go to the fields and attributes, click on assign. Here you will see the entire list, right? And from this level actually you will see a configuration, because if you go there you will see the object type is product 2. Okay, if you have created the your product under different category, it will not list out here in this pick list, right? In this list you will not see that product if you have not used product 2, right? So here we have used product 2, so we have created these two attributes, right? 4G and RAM. So just click on it and click on assign. Okay, 4G and 5G and RAM is not there. And then you need to go back to iPhone 11 and refresh it. Search for iPhone 11. Okay, under fields and attributes, you will see 5G, right? And here you can change the definition to, yeah, checkbox. You can give actually value whether you want it to checked or not. It is 5G supported, you can check it. And same for RAM, you can define the RAM options, right? Since it's a pick list, so you will see all those options. Okay, we will check from where when someone basically try to order it, because this is a pick list, this is a different variants, right? They can order 4G, 8G and 16 GB, right? So we will check from where they can check those options at the card level when they actually do the order. So that part we will check today itself. But yeah, here is it clear, right? So here you can check those options. Okay. Now, before we move to the next topic, let me give you a background. Let's go to Flipkart again. Let's say go to the electronics. Yeah, yeah. Here you can see they are saying buy together, save up to 5%. Okay, that means if you purchase this phone, along with this phone, if you purchase this back cover and this, I mean this glass, then you will save 5%. That means they are giving you option along with the main product. They are now telling you if you purchase some child products, then you will get 5% discount. Okay, this thing is called bundles. Okay, in basically in velocity, we call this approach as bundle. What we do in bundles, basically, we categorize when we create a product, we select the different category, and inside that category we, instead of adding one product, we ask users to add the bundles and multiple products. Okay, and that multiple products now become a part of one record. Okay, and when user actually go and order that record, then with the help of the same rules we can give them some additional discount on it. Let's check what I'm telling you, what I'm saying, what I mean by that. So remember when I clicked on plus, when I create a Samsung product, the here specification type I have selected product, right? This thing I have selected when I was creating this Samsung product, right? But here, since it is a something that is now part of bundle, now you need to select this offer instead of product. Getting it? That means whenever you need to create a bundle, you need to select the offer here instead of product. Okay, this is the first step to configure the bundle. Rest remains the same. Here you can define the category, whether it's which category it's found, and what will be the name. Let's say we are selling. Let's do one thing. Let's select the same category, because otherwise, if we select the category that we have created, Android phone, then we need to deal with the we need to set up the layout for our own. So what I will do is, for demoing purpose, I will use the same category that is there in the iPhone 11, which is this, right? Smartphone product, right? Same category I will pick here. Okay. Now here I can write iPhone 11 plus Hotstar. Okay. That means now we are giving a offer of user, if they purchase iPhone 11, then they will, if they select this option iPhone 11 and Hotstar, then we are giving them some, let's say 50% off for 1 year subscription in Hotstar. Okay, this is the package we want to create. In that case, you need to first check the object type, which is nothing but the category. Then you need to select a name, which will simply identifier of your product. And inside the specification type, you need to select the offer. Here you can write the actual basically code. Hit the save button. Okay, this will look similar how your normal product looks like the general information, whether it is orderable, what is the type of this, right? You can define that subtype, electronics or something, like active, effective date today, right? And save it. Okay, attribute properties will remain the same, no change here. This is also remain the same, no change here. Attachments, no change here. All those things will be applied here as well. The change that starts is with this thing, product structure. Now, this is not a product, right? This is an offer. Inside that, you need to add the products. Okay. Now, your iPhone 11 is the main product and Hotstar is the sub product. So here you need to click on the plus thing. Okay. Now, this is the main concept here. Up to this level, any questions? Clear, right? What we are doing, we are basically trying to create a card where we ask user to add multiple products, and based on that we will provide them some discount. Okay, that is the intention. So what is the things that are involved here? Let's first discuss that. You need to select the main product, which is this phone. Apart from that, now you need to configure the child products that you are giving. And when user click on add to cart, then you need to actually provide additional discounts on the top of that particular thing, right? And you can also check there is, oh, you can check there basically the cardinality. I mean, the actual approach of this is not changed. You will see two things as a free also, right? $0 or 0 rupees. Getting it? And if you check, okay, sorry, only 5 minutes allowed for each order. That means there is something who's controlling how much we can order. Okay, now let's revise and check this again. We have our main product. This is the first thing. Second, the list of products that are sold together, which is the bundle. Second thing. Third is how many of them users can buy. Okay, they have given a limit of 5 units, right? So this is the third thing. Fourth thing is the number of discount you are providing, right? Total discount that you are providing. And next thing is there also some product which is actually completely free, zero, zero, right? So those things, let's check how we can configure. Okay, in Velocity, to fulfill this requirement, we have to make a, we need to go to the products, and instead of selecting the specification type as product, you need to select offers. Okay, and you need to configure your product very similar how you do it like normally creating a product. Okay, the difference starts with this tab, which is product structure. You need to click on product structure, and then you need to click on this plus. There are two things, which is the product child, sorry, This is the child product, right? Next thing is the cardinality. Okay, child product is in our case, our child product is this Hotstar. We need to click here and search for it, which will be already existing in our catalog. This one, Hotstar Plus, right? Just select that. Now the relation is child. Sequence will be 1. Now this is the cardinality. Cardinality defines how much user can order. Okay, minimum they need to order is 1, right? Minimum is 1 and maximum is 5, and by default is 1. Okay, same thing here also. It is asking what is the minimum quantity that they need to buy, which is 1. What is the default quantity is 1, and what is the maximum quantity they can buy, which is 5. Okay, clear? If it is a in this example, let's say this Ghana Plus subscription 6 months is 0 rupees, $0, right? In that case, if we are also providing something, let's do one thing. Let's first save this, okay, and create another child product. Okay, this child product will be 4G, let's say, or 5G data plan. Let's say this one. Okay, relation will be child, sequence will be 2. Minimum, let's say 3, default 3, maximum, let's say 10. Okay, and now let's say this one we want to give free. Okay, now let me again tell you, if user purchase iPhone 11, we are giving additional discount on Hotstar subscription, and for let's say 3 months we are providing 5G data plan completely free with 0 rupees. Okay, if you need to configure something which is completely free, then you need to check this checkbox, virtual item. What this checkbox does, it will not create any line item after the order. It may be confusing at this moment. I will again come to this screen when we discuss about the this maybe in the next class, tomorrow's class, when we discuss about the difference between a $0 quote and a pricing quote. Okay, then we will come back to this screen, and then I will again explain you why there's no line item created for this 4G, because we have checked this virtual item checkbox. But as of now, just think, this virtual item checkbox, you need to only check if that particular item is 0 rupees. Okay, clear? Any questions? Getting it right? Okay, so you can see the specification type of this thing is offer. All the childs are in product, right? And you can see the, if you scroll it, you will see the cardinality, minimum, maximum, and default. Minimum, max, default, right? Now there's one more thing actually, which is what called, if you click there, you will see 3 tabs, right? Since our intention is yeah, our intention is to provide additional discounts, right? But the actual price of this Disney Plus product is a different rate. It could be, let's say, 1,000 rupees per year. Let's imagine that. Okay, for Disney Plus subscription, if someone is purchasing, the actual cost is 1,000 rupees, right? But since we are dealing in offer, we need to overrate that, right? So for that, we need to go to the product price here. Okay, here you will see the actual price. Let it load. Yeah, here you will see the actual price, which is $7.9, right? This is the actual price. Now you can override this price. Okay, we will again come to this screen when we discuss about the CPQ part, and then we will talk about this from where this price can be varied. Okay, this product attributes is something which actually tells what is how much they can after how month they can do it, right? So yeah, this way we will also discuss, right, how we can do that. You can actually override this also. We'll discuss about it. But yeah, you are getting the concept. What is the settings and what we need to do. First, you need to create a specific you need to create a product type is offer. Then you need to add all the child items, child products, right? Product childs all in this list. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to define the cardinality, how much they can offer and how much they can order, right? And then you need to vary the pricing directly from here. One more thing you need to do. Let's say you have created this and deployed to the production and user start doing the purchase. Okay. But due to some reason, now business is saying, hey, we need to tune the cardinality. Okay. Previously, just a second. Yeah, they are saying we need to tune the cardinality. We want to change minimum and maximum, right? So what you can do here, let's say this one, they're saying instead of 10, I want to say 8. Okay, I want to set 8 here. In that case, if you directly do the changes here, let's say instead of 10, you make 8 and you save it. It allow you to do this. Okay, it will allow you and you can change the cardinality directly by doing this. But the problem here is for any live orders, because your product is not live, people are purchasing this and you will never know how much item is already sold and how much order is in the consumption process, right? In that case, if you change the cardinality, you will see a impact on the order decomposition process, because some of the rules will now basically start throwing the exceptions because cardinality is not changed. Okay, so previously we set 10 cardinality, but now we have override this cardinality to 8. So how we can do this? Like if we need to, a business is saying for any new order we need to do, for any existing order, keep it 8, keep it 10. In that case, you will see this checkbox called override mode. You just need to click this checkbox. Okay, here you will give you two options: create override, exclude items. You need to click on create override. Okay, there they will give you another window where you can now change the cardinality. Okay, this way you can make it 8 and you can save it. Okay, it got successfully saved, and if you scroll, you will see this previous cardinality is crossed and the new cardinality is enabled. Okay, there are some validations also. Let's say by default you giving 10. Okay, and you want to change this cardinality to 11, and if you try to save, it will throw an exception. Why? Because this is not a override, right? Someone who ordered 10 and now you have changed to 11, it will not impact the existing orders. This is also makes sense, right? Because if someone ordered 10 and now you have changed it to 11, there's no impact in their existing orders. Someone, I mean, this is acceptable. In that case, you don't need to do the override. You can directly uncheck this checkbox and manually change it to 11. That's why they have added this validation that you can, for minimum quantity, you can decrease the quantity, but you cannot increase this. Okay, getting it? Same goes here also. If I make it 5 and say, it will throw the exception. Why? Because minimum quantity you are making it 5, which you can again override. But why you need to do the override here? You can make 2 here, right? Then it will, yeah, here I think you need to make 3 only. Now it is saved. So that you can do, because default is now, if I make it 2 and default is 3, it will again throw exception, because why it is not, it can't, you can't do that because you're selecting default as 2, 3. You need to do it 2. Okay. Actually, you can increase it to 4 and here you can do it. Now it will say, yeah. Why? Because see, again, a rule remains here same. If you select minimum as 3 and default as 3 and you change it to 2, you can directly do and change it directly there. You don't need to do any override. Those override can only be possible when you actually change the minimum to 4. That means now user at least need to purchase 4. Right? So those things you need to do only when you did the override. Any questions? This is a very asked interviews question, like when you need the override in the card, why we cannot directly change it? So first answer is you can directly change it, but you need to take care it will not violate any rule in the card in the order decomposition process. How it will violate rule? Let's say the same thing. the minimum quantity you have selected 3, let's say for existing orders. Now you have changed it to 4. That means all those orders which users did for 3, they have selected 3 products. Now they need to select 4, then only they can process, right? To override this, you need to do the override mode, and then you can do it. For any new order, this rule will apply, and for any existing order, this will apply. Same goes for here as well. If you change the maximum quantity to 11, it will, you don't need any override, you can do it. But if you change the maximum quantity to 8, then you need to do the override. Okay, any questions? We will come back to this screen again when we discuss about the pricing, when we 2 classes ahead. We are now this topic is 2 classes ahead. We will again come back to this screen and we'll discuss about the price, how we will vary this price in case of bundles. Okay, and attributes also. But yeah, any questions? Okay, so there's one more thing actually. Any product that we are actually dealing with, let's say we have created this iPhone 11, okay, and in the pricing we have not added any price entry, then by default this product will be treated as a technical product. Okay, because your technical product can't have any pricing. Okay, any commercial product needs to have a price even if it is a $0. Getting it? So those products called, the basic definition of this product is it is a technical product. Why? Because pricing is no pricing defined here. Okay, now we have done enough talking. Now let's check from where we can actually view this products, from where actually users can purchase and how the end user screen will look like. So for that you need to go to the, let's do that. Actually you need to first make an order, right? Now let's think about as a user, you need to do a order. Click on new and select any account. I'm just randomly selecting any account, right? Status will be this. All those things basically part of your Salesforce, from where you are generating the account is totally depend on how, what is the nature. Like if it is a community, let's say, and you have given an order new button, then all those things you need to pre-populate before you actually run the velocity rules, right? So those things will come like what is the address, what is the shipping address, all you need to create flows. Before that you need to create, omni scripts that ask user to fill the those details, and you need to keep those things into the order state. Okay, once you get all those details, you are done with this, then you need to click on the save. That means create a order. Okay, let it save. Hmm, yeah, then once you save this order, you need to click on the CPQ button. And what is, if again, if your system is, yeah, if you want to add, you don't want to add this button, you can create a custom button on any community, and those community you just need to pass the ID of your order. And this is the nothing but a PF page that they have created for us. This is the actual page which actually display to the end user, and from there they can only do the orders and do everything. Here it is taking some time for first, if you load it firstly, it took some time to load the screen and all. Okay, here you need to select the price list. I will talk about it, what is price list, but yeah, let it load. So this is the basic page that you need to enable for your community or any external website or any internal website, wherever you are planning to show the products. You will see 3 tabs: product, promotions, and discount. Let's first talk about the product. You cannot see any product which don't have any price list. Let's say this is the Hotstar we have created, uh, iPhone 11 Plus Hotstar. There's no price list, right? So you can't find this thing inside this. Okay, but you can find this product iPhone 11. Let's say you need to click on more. This is the screen that usually users will see. So you will see the images of the product, some basic details that you want to display. And yeah, you can now click on add to cart. First time this page will always hang. Yeah, you have added that. Now what you need to do, let's say these two things I have added. Any required field, if you, let's say this is the phone, right? So they need to add the color before they need to order, right? So for that they need to click on the configuration, or you can also do the inspect. You will see all the details basically. Okay, what is the payment type, brand, what color you want to give. This is the pick list basically, right? That we need to configure. And those grade options are something which we don't want user to edit, because those are just for displaying purpose, right? They can select the color, they can maybe select the capacity here. This is the RAM, you can say 64, 128, whatever it is, right? Roam actually. And then you can, they can select the payment type, and there they can define what is the any name, or if there is any promotion. Those things we will check out when we discuss about promotions and all. And then they need to click on close. Okay, same goes for here also. They need to click on inspect and fill the required fields, right? All those things, and then they need to close it. Okay, now you can see submit button is enabled. They just need to submit it. Now you can see the VF page is opened, and this page is nothing. At this time, it is verifying all the rules that are written, all the validations are written is now fulfilling or not. If it is not fulfilling, you will see an exception in this screen only. If it is successful, you will see a close button here. Okay, we will again, this is the entire process that I have shown you. Okay, we will again come back and discuss about those things again. So don't be confused. I'm just giving you a entire look how this functionality will look like. But we have finished the topics. Let me talk about that. We have finished the this topic. We have finished the layout topic. Also some part of the object, which is categories also done. We will still, we have not discussed what is the behavior or what is the difference in the inheritance of attribute and the layout. This is topic which we have not discussed yet, right? So you will see order submit successfully. This is the key, and then you need to do the next, and it will give you the, it will send you to the account page. Inside this account, you will see all orders, whatever you have placed. Okay, what is the total cost and all you will see here. This is this page, since is inside the Salesforce Classic. Again, you can switch to the Lightning and the same behavior will remain the same. You will find a button there also, and you can check those things. Okay, any questions? The basic area that we have covered is the foundation, layout management, objects, and how actual product is configured, and what is the role of category object and all. So those things we have completed. 50% of this bundle is also completed. The concepts I have shown you, like the first thing is specific type needs to be offered. Then you need to go to the structure, define your child items, and adjust the cardinality. And yeah, this is interview questions, when you need to change the cardinality and when you can directly changes here also, right? So if I want to change it now, let me ask you this. If I change this minimum to 2 and save it, is it a right approach to directly change minimum quantity to 1 to 2? Guys, it's not right. Why? Because someone who already ordered one and now they need to purchase 2 items instead of 1. So we can't directly do that. But we can change this 5 to 10. Okay. This doesn't violate any existing rules, because someone who is ordering, let's say 5, they can again order rest 5, right? So this is not violating any rule. But if I change this 5 to 4, then it is violating the rule. Why? Because now what happened for those orders who ordered 5 here, right? So in maximum quantity, we cannot reduce maximum quantity, right? We cannot reduce it, and minimum quantity we cannot increase it. Okay, so this is, you can directly tell if we need to dec uh, decrease the maximum quantity and increase the minimum quantity, then we need to create the overrides. We cannot directly do inside the kernelty here. Okay, and then they will ask you what will happen if you do this. Then you can say it will violate the existing rules, and maybe in the backend, when you do that, it will impact the existing orders. Okay, those things you can tell them. All it. Now I pause for any questions. Okay, I think you need to revisit this video again. I can understand at the first view it looks little thing, but yeah, even if you check this video, you will find you also need to create your own bundle, and then you need to define those products. Then you will get an idea. Okay, what is exactly things you need to configure. The concept remains the same. You will here you will define those things. How many products you can order. This cardinality tells how much they can order. This price tells how much they need to pay. Okay, and yeah, what is the discount and all. This will also part of this cost adjustments and overheads, right? From there we can provide them the additional discounts when they purchase it. And if there's a product which is completely free, then in that case we need to check this virtual item checkbox. We check this checkbox, you will not see any product. If I open the item here, order, you will not see. We will discuss about it. I don't want to confuse at this level, but yeah, even if it is a zero, if it is a virtual item, then you cannot actually uh, this particular product will not list out any in the items. You can also change the cardinality for any free item also. Okay, all right. uh, we can break the day if no questions, and from tomorrow we can revise these topics and discuss further. All right, guys, thanks for joining.
Yesterday's video was not loading actually from the from the LMS site.
It is loaded. I also updated the dumps and all. Let me share
Yes.
this.
Yeah, the links I saw actually, the couple of links you shared on the Google from the Google Drive, that is working. But when I tried to play the video, it was like just spinning for a long.
Okay, then I will, maybe I need to create a case and then they will fix it. I will check. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then let's connect tomorrow to discuss those things. Please visit this video and also try to create a product. Try to create the, if you do the practice, you will get the classes from this is because now the complexity will increase. Okay, so it is recommended to, before joining the session, just do some hands-on by your own. Then you will also come up with any questions. Okay, all right. Thanks. Let's meet tomorrow.
Thank you.